In June 2017, the international standard ISO 27700 Guidelines for Management Consultancy Services was published. The launch of this standard is a milestone and further quality initiative for the profession worldwide. The ISO standard reflects the state-of-the-art consultancy process, and in doing so, this standard is relevant for our day-to-day business. My name is Ilse Ensfellner, and I'm one of the delegates that worked in the ISO project committee, together with representatives from almost 50 countries from all over the world, for 3 years to deliver this ISO standard. As leader of the ISO committee's task group stakeholder engagement, I'm convinced that the greater the use of ISO 27700, the more it will benefit the industry by promoting best practice amongst consultants and clients and transparency for all. The importance of management consultancy for the economy and society has been addressed by ISO 27700 in the introduction. Management consultants, referred to as management consultancy service providers, use their know-how to support clients to deal with important issues such as handling complexity, achieving sustainable organizational growth, innovating, achieving change, and enhancing productivity. Thus, the management consultancy industry makes a substantial contribution to the world economy. How does this important industry benefit from standards and standardization? Consultancy is a self-regulatory profession with little or no barriers of entry. However, consultancy is an activity that requires not only expertise and experience, but also individuality and creativity. This is why consultancy as such cannot be standardized, and if, only the consultancy process. So we need to ask, what are the appropriate process standards that consultants should adhere to in their relationships with clients, in order to provide a fundament for a successful client-consultant relationship. Clients may ask for and refer to these standards as a prerequisite when selecting and engaging management consultants. This is why standardization is needed. And even more, consultancy is part of the standardized world and the standardization efforts that are dominating the overall economy. The good thing for us, standardization is development of the profession. To be successful, it requires commitment and active participation by all parties concerned: the consulting profession, our clients and client organizations, and stakeholders such as academia and standards bodies. The consulting profession has already reacted and developed several standards in cooperation with buyers, standards institutions, and other stakeholders. 3 institutions enabled to establish the ISO 27700 standard. The International Council of Management Consulting Institutes, ICMCI, sponsored the initiative in cooperation with the European standards body CEN and the International Standards Organization ISO. What are the main features of ISO 27700? ISO 27700 Guidelines for Management Consultancy Services provide policies and guidelines for contracting, execution, and closure of management consultancy services by highlighting the activities to be performed either by the MCSP or by the MCSP together with the client, as well as the main decisions and contributions carried out by the client only. It also provides informative annexes, for example, on capability or stakeholder and risk management in consultancy. ISO 27700 is the first ISO standard for management consultancy and a milestone for our profession. It takes the form of a guideline. It is not a compliance standard. However, it provides the basis for other related standards and for conformity assessments where applicable. ISO 27700 is beneficial for consultants and clients. The aim is to improve transparency and understanding between clients and management consultancy service providers in order to achieve better results from consultancy projects, as well as to provide better value for clients and reduce risks in management consultancy assignments. This impacts the quality, professionalism, and ethical behavior of management consultancy, increases the effectiveness of the management consultancy industry, and fosters the development of the profession. ISO 27700 is based on good practice from the management consultancy industry, as it is based on research and the experience of a wide range of MCSPs and their clients. ISO 27700 is universally applicable. It applies to all MCSPs, whatever their size or specialism. It is essential that ISO 27700 is flexible, not a straitjacket. MCSPs are free to use their own methods and approaches. What is the future perspective of ISO 27700? Let me first go back to the early days. The whole initiative started 10 years ago after the European Union had launched the European Service Directive, and with it the concept of service standards for all service professions. Service standards can be viewed as another development in the evolution of the standards concepts. They are entirely driven by the client viewpoint. The consulting profession took the initiative and launched the first European standard on management consultancy services, the EN 16114, in 2011. In 2018, the EN 16114 was adopted to EN ISO 27700. Having one standard acknowledged internationally, we need to be clear about what makes ISO 27700 effective. The aim is to encourage the consulting profession and the clients to use the standard. For example, ISO 27700 should be considered in major global and national procurement programs. What needs to be done in order to achieve awareness and recognition of ISO 27700? First, we need to train and accredit consultants, but also clients and procurers of management consultancy services. Second, courses in academia may raise awareness of the standard for young people and students. Furthermore, the task at hand is to consider and to develop appropriate evaluation methods for compliance with the standard, and to create further associated standards where necessary. Take a look at the website iso27700.org. It gives you an overview of the different activities and tools offered and delivered by the international consulting community. To conclude, the International Standards Organization ISO classified ISO 27700 as bestseller standard. In order to implement ISO 27700 long-lasting and sustainably, we need to engage with our clients and the stakeholders of the consultancy industry, preferably in further cooperation with the International Standards Organization ISO. Let us explore this opportunity. The future of ISO 27700 is bright and challenging. Be part of the management consulting community delivering services according to ISO 27700.